All right, guys, here is step two. By the time you're finished with step one, this is what your galaxy should look like, and this is the layer order that you should have. One copy two is the layer we're going to be working on for step two. These two layers right here are the ones that we worked on for step one. You want to make sure that they are visible. The only one not visible is this one down at the bottom. That is your fail-safe layer. You also want your background visible. We're going to repeat a lot of the same steps that we did in step one to this layer right here. First thing I'm going to do, I want to make sure that my layer is selected, and then I'm going to do a levels adjustment again. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Levels. This time I'm only going to put in for the black dropper 110. I'm going to add the texture to this part as well again. So I'm going to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, make sure Spatter is clicked, Spray Radius and Smoothness are all the way up, and click OK. Before you did that, hopefully you had black as your foreground color. If you did not, it would not work. I'm going to do a color range selection again. So making sure that my thumbnail is selected, black is my foreground color. I'm going to go up to Select, Color Range, and click OK. All of this is now selected. Then I click my layer mask, and it automatically switches it to white as your foreground. I'm going to go Command Delete, and then Command D. Cleaned it up a little bit. I'm going to duplicate this layer, and now I'm going to transform it because I want to make a smaller galaxy shape in the center, but I'm going to rotate it so that this texture or the same pattern of the swirl is not in the same place again. So I'm going to hit Command T to transform it. If you hold Command or Alt on the keyboard or Option and you pull in, it's going to pull it in equally from all four sides. Let go. Now I'm going to rotate it so that my pattern is a little bit disrupted from the original pattern. I'm going to hit Enter to accept that transformation. I'm also going to change the blending mode because I want it to appear brighter towards the center. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go to Screen. So you can see that that one is slightly brighter than the previous one. I'm going to duplicate this one more time. I'm going to transform it again holding Alt to keep it proportionally correct on all four sides. I'm going to zoom in, and this time I'm going to rotate even more than the last time. So I have another change in my pattern. Hit Enter to accept that transformation. Last thing I want to do is I want to add a nice bright spot in the center because that's where everything is getting sucked in. So as long as my top layer is active, I'm going to come down next to my trash can where it says Create a New Layer, and I'm going to add a white brush spot into the center of this. So I need to use my brush tool. Need to make sure that white is my foreground color. And then up here where the brushes are, if you go all the way to the top and underneath General Brushes, I want a soft round brush selected. Make sure your opacity does all the way up to 100. Come to the center of your galaxy. I'm going to use my brackets to make mine larger. And then I'm going to click once in the center. So now it looks like everything is kind of getting sucked in. Last thing to do for step two is you're going to select every single layer except for the bottom two. So the one that's our fail-safe layer, we're not going to select that one, and we're not going to select the background. I'm going to hold Shift, come all the way down to one copy layer. So now they're all selected. I'm going to press Command G to group them into a folder, and I'm going to call this step one. And that is it for step two, actually. And I will create another video for step three.